Hello, everybody. Steve Olson with Elite Baseball Prospect. Hope you're doing well. Everybody's safe. We're in the middle of high school baseball season, and boy, we're about ready to rock and roll with some Major League Baseball. I think I saw today that we open up in less than it's a week. So how good is that compared to where we were a year ago? But most importantly, we hope everybody's safe and your family, and we're just excited that you're taking some time to spend with us today. I'm really excited. As we continue to develop our relationships with Elite Baseball, with the premier providers across the United States. Today, I am super excited because we've got Kyle Attl from Blast Motion that is going to be joining us, and we're going to be talking about Blast Motion, obviously swing analysis and how important it is today as we talk about metrics, getting to college coaches, recruiting, but most importantly, skill set development. Kyle has been with the organization for a long time, and he just does an awesome job. And we've been spending a lot of time just kind of, going back and forth and chatting about, what can we provide? What kind of information can we give you as parents or student athletes to look at a product? And when I say product, really look at an opportunity for you as a player or a parent to put your son in the best position to be successful. So without further ado, let me introduce Kyle. We're going to roll right into this. And as always, I get a ton of questions that come up after we have our educational webinars. There's not an issue with ever sending it. I'm going to make sure that when we send this to you, that you'll have access to Kyle as well, so you can go right to the source. But Kyle, welcome to Elite Baseball Prospect and Blast Motion. We're excited. Let's rock and roll.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you having me. I'm looking forward to having a great conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, would you mind what we typically do? Could you just give me kind of a 30 to 45 second thumbnail sketch, your background, how long you've been with Blast, what your current duties are, and how can we take this next step?
Absolutely. So like you said, my name's Kyle Attl. I'm from San Diego. I played college baseball in the Big West. I spent a small portion of time in the minor leagues with the Washington Nationals, and I was actually a travel ball organization coach, coaching young kids going into high school. My mission was always to give kids the pro level coaching that I and most people had said that they got later in their career. So that was always my mission. So I've been at Blast for 4 years now. And one of the main reasons I came over is we had the ability and a product that could get great pro level coaching and information to all people. So I've been there I've been at Blast for about 4 years now. I was the lead product specialist for a long time. So I worked across a lot of departments, making sure our product fit into baseball. I was also the main contact for operation stuff for our Major League Baseball teams. So I made sure that they operated across all their affiliates at the big league level, all the way down, to really make sure we had a product that fit baseball and really had valuable information. So since 2019, I've been the director of professional baseball, managing those relationships and our service team to all of our customers. So very well versed in the product, how it's used, how it's trained, and then all the way down to the event space, showcases, things like that.
Yeah, that's outstanding. I think, folks, what we have to recognize here is, with the vast experience that Kyle brings us, and I think the key thing that we caught on here at Elite Baseball, this is being used by the Major League Baseball, but now it's available to our young student athletes at the same type of progression to help them skill set develop. And, there's not a lot of tools out there from a cost affordability as well, which we're going to talk about at the end, that, literally we could be putting this into every household across the country in terms of skill set development and analysis. And I can, again, speak firsthand, as you have heard me say, I've got a current son who is a 2023, and he's been using the Blast Motion technology now for, I think it's going on 15 months. And I can see the development that has occurred. And I think that is this, let me tell you, when we're out looking for product, and we've got companies that come to us all the time, they think they carry the magic wand. Oh, this is going to fix everything overnight. We've talked about the guys that say, hey, we've got this that can add velo overnight. That's all nonsense. This company, over a long period of time, even going into high school and college and the professional ranks, makes it happen. And that's what separates Blast Motion in their space. And my son has seen tremendous growth. I want to ask a question, though, Kyle, right out of the gate.
Yeah.
The video support that you guys provide on the training end of it. So this is not something you need to take back to your hitting coach. This is something that really a player can do on his own. He can capture video. And the one thing that I know my son uses a lot is the training videos. Can we walk through that and kind of give me and everybody kind of a flow on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the greatest things that we had as a company over time was amazing coaches across the country at all levels providing quality information. Blast Motion is an information company. We provide swing insights and ways to train. So it happens is take your swings and we provide that on some of the major concepts like power, contact, and consistency, like your swing plane, things like that. But what happens is you need to have something to do with that information. So what we did with all these great coaches is we developed a lot of the great training hitters across the country at all levels have done, and we actually serve those up based on your metrics. So if you need an improvement in like rotational acceleration, we can serve up drills that we believe the best in the game use to improve those, and we can serve that up to you. Now, we serve up multiple drills so that players can figure out which ones work best for them. And then you can obviously track your progress with your video and your metrics as well to say, okay, is this working? How am I getting better? And you can see and target training based on that. So take swings, get fed drills that are specific to your swing, continue to train and watch improvement.
My key takeaway there, folks, is progressional. So you're able to set a benchmark of where they're at in those key aspects, address any deficiencies. Obviously, if your son is performing very well in one of those areas, that's good. It's unlikely that he's performing well or above average in all three. So there might be an area, I call it areas of opportunity for improvement. A lot of people call it weaknesses. Now, those are two separate discussions. Areas of opportunity for improvement, if you indicate the deficiencies and then you go correct that, that is development. That is pure development today. And player development is so key. And I can tell you again, when my son, Nick, when he started to see his progression, he got even more excited about it. And so whether it's hitting off the tee or he's hitting live in the batting cage, he'll even use it when he's on the field and they're taking BP. He doesn't use it in games, but he uses it. It allows him to make sure he's duplicating what he's doing well. But if there's something that perhaps he needs a little tweak on, bang, then he goes right back and he starts looking at the videos to correct that specific deficiency. So that is a huge point of difference. There's a lot of products out there that it can show you what perhaps you're not doing right, okay? But then they don't connect the dots. They don't then give you the tools to come back and go, here's how to correct it. Because
That's such a great point.
Yeah. Maybe Kyle, go into a little bit on that, will you? Yeah.
Yeah, such a great point. So the idea of player development is a progression to make it to the level of play that you want to while you're succeeding on the way. So being able to say, a lot of people say, okay, well, where should I be? We have ranges for every metric based on whether you're at major leagues, school level, varsity, things like that. We can tell you based on our data set, which is millions of swings. We captured, I think, a little over 50 million swings last year. So we can provide those ranges of play. Where you should be. And then you say, okay, well, I think another great comment you had was we don't call out weaknesses. We call out what your swing is doing to identify your strengths to help your game. So when you do have opportunities to train and get better, you are served up that information and that content to continue to train and target where you can improve your game to make sure. And I think the thing that comes out in great conversations is tracking it over time. You have to perform over a season in the off season to get better. Imagine if you had a technology, which we have now, where you can say, hey, your early connection or your load is getting a little steep, the barrel's a little up. Hey, this has happened. Serve you up some information, maybe give you a drill that you once did to get back to that. And your 2-week slump might turn into 1 or 2 days. I know we've heard a lot of great stories of players not having the best day, going back, looking at their metrics, identifying something. Again, it's that piece of information, that light on the dashboard. Hey, something's changed. You kind of go about that way. So having that information is so key, serving up ways to improve, and then having that source of where and where should I target improvements, along with know what your strengths are. So it's just really, really nice to have that all packaged up. And that's what we're trying to do for players and coaches.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think too, we need to know that, this could be used by the player himself. He can go out and hit off the tee. He can do a lot of this where you don't have to be chasing out to hitting coaches and all of that. Talk a little bit about the video capture, because and let's be honest, I'm a parent and, like all parents, I'm sure that our student athletes and our sons are spending some time on a video game. Okay, let's just be realistic. This is video. They are going to be more attentive to video than they will, a speech by their high school coach who happens to teach history during the day on his swing. Okay, it's going to go on one at a time. Let's talk about the importance of video today from a learning perspective.
Yeah, so video is something that's been around for a little bit, and now that we've added metrics to it, it becomes super valuable. Something that we wanted to do at Blast was make that video capture and getting a clip of just your one swing super easy. So all you do in the app is you press record, you make your whole round of swings with your sensor on the bat, and our app will auto clip each one of those swings into individual swing clips. We will slow-mo the swing through impact and then overlay the metrics that you want that video. So when you're talking about trying to get a video of your swing, the metrics to understand what's going on so that you understand your swing and can improve, super huge. I know spring training's going on right now. I think that's what Corey Seager, if anyone saw that, was swinging with a blast motion sensor, big video guy. How great is it to just take your swings for the day, auto clip all that video and be able to look at them. Hey, here's a swing that I liked. Here's a round that I liked, and have that as a reference over time. Because you're not only capturing our data in the moment, but you can always go back and say, okay, where was I when I was feeling good? What does it look like? And how can we go from there? So capturing video is huge. Our app, that was something that we really wanted to make sure we got right, made that video capture and auto clipping super important.
Yeah. And making it easy to use. I think there's so many products out there today that they overcomplicate it, and then players get frustrated. I know that there's some other products that when you make it too complicated, or it can't be really, really easy for a player or a coach to look at it, to be able to envision what they need to get back to, it's really key.
Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Simplicity is what we were looking to do. And I think I said this in the beginning, we wanted to make sure we fit into baseball, and we didn't have to make baseball kind of adjust to have this sensor on the bat. Our sensor automatically connects, one touch video auto curation. You can even put the sensor on your bat and go play all day and upload your swings later. So we really wanted to make sure we fit into that, and that was important to us.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring out one important, here you got Corey Seager. I mean, obviously he's in the major leagues. He's one of the best hitters in the major leagues using video, but I'm sure we've all watched Major League Baseball games, and you see about 12 iPads sitting in the dugouts today because they're breaking down their video. They're seeing where they're at, or what maybe the delivery from a pitcher, but a lot of it is hitting. And I know that you guys work with a lot of Major League Baseball players. You work with a lot of the top college programs. I was talking to one of our good friends at the Division III. He's starting to use it this year, and he said that his players have just become they just trust it, and they become addicted to it. And it's really, he's seen some average hitters become above average hitters, and he's seen the really, really good hitters take it to the next level. So really important. Absolutely. Kyle, in the recruiting world now, just kind of shifting gears a little bit, the world that I live in every day, and obviously, our young student athletes, their desire to get recruited. Let's talk a little bit about how that can help them, or how Blast Motion can help them, because we know it's turned to metrics. At the end of the day, this is a metric-driven environment now. And how are you guys incorporating that, or how do you see that fitting into recruiting? And then I'll come back and talk about how we're using it. And then I also definitely want to dive into, the top showcase companies across the country. Prep Baseball Report, best in the U.S. are using it. But we'll touch on them in just a few minutes. So let's just talk about metrics and what you guys are hearing from college coaches, et cetera.
Absolutely. So a couple things generally in the recruiting space, and especially this accelerated with COVID, but the ability to recruit remotely has been something that is on the uptick and has been accelerated in our space. So you got coaches at home watching 4 games at a time, or being able to watch live showcases and get information on players. So we like to say that our metrics are an addition to the recruiting process, and coaches are making that a standard. You want to know a player's blast motion metrics. Where do their bat speeds fall? What's their rotational acceleration? Ability to get some video on that player has become super important. So when you're talking about these showcases in the recruiting process, it's really important that you have validated data. So a lot of times a college coach early on would say, hey, this is great. How do I know that this is you and not necessarily like your older brother who I know is in AA with, the Angels. So that's a huge value that some of these quality top tier showcase companies have been doing, is that they have validated data for these players. Coaches are going to want that information to recruit and see from there. They're looking for certain types of swings, certain type of players. There's a lot that goes into the recruiting process. So having that validated data is really important. Now, what happens when you have that validated data, and particularly with some of the showcase companies? Distribution to these colleges is super important. It eliminates a lot of the friction for a player or a coach to get access to somebody. You go to a showcase, a lot of colleges watch that showcase. They're connected with those people. You're talking about state directors or other organizations. Home, they finish it up, they go to dinner with their family, they have data on all those players, they've got curated video of their swings, and they're ready to go. Now I can see who I like, I've got that information, and now my first conversation with a player or a parent in the recruiting process is a deeper level conversation. I know what your swing tools are, so it's really sped up that process. I think some of the favorite stories I hear is how data's helped players get recruited and seen because it has put them on the board for coaches or colleges and help them get to the next level. So that's been super important from there. And then this will be my last point. Historical data is really important. So coaches want to see a progression of a player, right? You watch someone throughout high school, their freshman year, their sophomore year, their junior year, things like that. They watch them get better. So the more data you can have and distribute to coaches to say, hey, here's how my bat speed's improved. Here's how my rotational acceleration's improved. Being able to give information on the journey of player development and where you're trying to get to is really important for these coaches. A lot of times you get a small snapshot of where a player's at if you're looking at like a day or a game. So having a really good sample size to share with somebody has been super important. So that was a lot of topics. So just to summarize that, like showcases do a great job with validated data. They distribute it to college coaches. There is an evaluation that goes with that player and seamless communication between those two for it. And then the better your data set is for that coach, the more they understand who you are as a player from like a swing tool perspective and things like that. So a lot of great things going on in that space. Recruiting world, show things like that. So it's really helped a lot of players.
Yeah, and then we take it one step further in terms of the distribution, and that's where a player profile or a resume that's how we frame it up. You put all of that together, but it's video driven. It has metrics. It's verified. Verified. It's actually getting to a college coach, and he trusts it. Yes. He knows that it's not massively being edited, and it could be somebody else. This will help your son move up the radar or even get on the recruiting board quickly if they like what they see. Totally agree with the progression too, because today they're looking at projectability. They're looking at, so in my instance, I've got a 2023. Where is he at, last September when he went to a Best in USA showcase? And then what will his results be in June of this year when he goes to another Best in USA showcase? Same controlled environment, using blast motion. Where has he come over the year? And then, okay, where is he going to be in 6 months or 12 months? Again, as I opened up earlier, this is not an overnight sensation. This is not a fix it like today or tomorrow. This is where you're going to be 3, 6, 9, and 12 months and the verified. And I can tell you, if you're sending out video today with no metrics, don't send it. Because a college coach is going to look at it and just automatically delete it. If you can't have a communication strategy with a college coach saying, here's my blast motion metrics, here is my TrackMan metrics off the mound, here's my Rapsodo metrics, here's my hit track metrics, they just move on. And I get a kick because on social media, somebody records a double into the left center field gap, and they think that, oh my goodness sake, that every Power 5 college is going to call me. Well, they don't know if you were hitting off a 75 mile an hour fastball or a 90 mile an hour fastball. So, stop posting all that nonsense on social media because it doesn't work. It only self-serves the ego of the parents in some instances. So sorry to be transparent on that, but that's reality. That's what happens. So yeah, definitely good. So Prep Baseball Report, I think we talked earlier, they're using it in, I think, every state, aren't they, right now? And I know Best in the U.S. is using it in every one of their showcases. So it's gaining a lot of traction with two of the top organizations around the country. Then you throw in Major League Baseball, minor league baseball, and college. I mean, this product is not on trial. I mean, I'll just be very straight with you. This is a proven, credible organization that's doing it the right way and is part of the education. Is there anything else on the showcase and Prep Baseball report that you wanted to kind of comment? Maybe some of the feedback you're getting from those guys and how effective it is?
Yeah, I think it's been positive in all ways, from the showcase company on the data that it provides on players, helping their write-ups, distribution to the colleges. But the one thing I want to make sure I still talk about is the self-evaluation of the player attending that showcase. Where am I at? I have information to understand it. I can track my improvement. They always say the best coach is yourself, right? Even Tiger Woods has a coach, and some of the best athletes ever had a coach, but they understood their swing. So having that self-evaluation for a player, saying, okay, based on these numbers, I want to showcase those, having a takeaway, because you will likely go to multiple showcases so that you can show your improvement over time and have coaches see you. So that self-evaluation to know where you're at, what you got to work on, and have that match to where you're trying to get to is a super valuable thing. So that's been so huge for us. And I appreciate all the positivity on what we've been doing. That's always been our mission, is to have good quality information for everyone to make players better, coaches better, and recruiting process easier. And that's.
Yeah, so that's outstanding. So I just wanted to add a couple of other thoughts. So it's not only skill set development, it's going to help in the recruiting process. It's a no-brainer when it comes to affordability. I mean, I want you to sit back, and we're going to include a bunch of information as well in terms of opportunity, what the costings are, and we're going to run through that with Kyle as well. But I mean, seriously, I think for my son, Nick, through his high school, I don't know the exact number. I looked at it, that's the cost of 2 hitting lessons. 2. So we're not talking thousands and thousands of dollars. Kyle, can you kind of just give a kind of a range? Because I know you do have, your baseline, and then you got your profile and all that. But can you just share just in a range where we're at from a parent's perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 2 parts to our solution. We have the hardware, which is the sensor that goes on the bat, and then we have a subscription that is either yearly or monthly. So the sensor retails at $150. If you check our website or a lot of the other partners we work with, it's pretty easy to get a little discount on that. So I definitely recommend that. If you are a player, it is $60 a year or $5.95 a month for this information that we're providing. We wanted to make sure that it was effective for players to get Major League Baseball technology in their pocket. Some of those quality things. Now, it's important to call out that if you just buy a sensor, you can download our app, and there is a free version of our software. You're going to get our impact metrics, which is everything going on at contact. But just for transparency, a lot of the value comes from our swing metrics, which are very process oriented. How quickly you accelerate the bat, how your body's moving, how the bat works through the zone. So there are those 2 tiers. So you're looking for, call it $200 out of the gate. $60 a year, you're getting some of the best information that you can on the swing, tracking it over time. It opens up a player profile so that you can send highlights and your metrics over time, the showcases that you've attended, directly to college coaches. People, you guys do phenomenal reports. I've seen them. They're amazing. You send them out. So you have some of those options, but that's what we're looking at. And we wanted to make sure we could get to all people.
Yeah, so there you go. You talk about cost affordability. It's a no-brainer, I believe. I mean, you're talking $15 a month at $180 to $200. Call it what it is. What is that? 2 or 3 or 4 hitting lessons over the course of a year. This is 365, 24/7 availability with unbelievable. Again, I think the biggest point of difference, and I can speak as a parent, and I watch my son, is the video that not only he captures, but the video training elements that he's able to go visit and see and put into action himself. So we don't have to, we no longer go see a hitting coach. So, you know, we feel comfortable, and he's off to a great start in high school this year. And I think a lot of it's attributed to what he's doing in his work and his attention. Now, if you think from a player's perspective that you can do this once every 2 weeks or once every 3 weeks, then don't spend the money. That's like anything else. If you're not, you know, parents, you need to tell your son, hey, are you all in? Are you committed? And if they get committed to this, I can guarantee you that they are going to see the benefits. No doubt. We see the benefits from our players that use it at our indoor facility. Obviously, I've seen it firsthand with my son. So, and that keeps evolving. I look back at probably 2, 3, 4 years ago where Blast Motion was and where they are today. I'm excited to, you know, to keep monitoring and see what they're going to bring us here, because obviously they're getting the best of the best with the Major League Baseball. So, Kyle, we appreciate you taking the time. I want to let the parents know that we're going to continue to bring you these educational opportunities in terms of the top performing products out there. And Blast Motion is 5-star. I can tell you from Elite Baseball's prospect standpoint, they have been nothing but tremendous partners. We've partnered with them with our VIP membership program. I'm out promoting them to, you know, our database, our players internally and externally at our facility. And they've been great. They've been great. And I think that I'll personally vouch for them that you're going to be dealing with a company that has the best interest of your son at them to be able to help them achieve their goal of being the best baseball player. Maybe that's the best high school baseball player. Maybe it's the best college player. It doesn't matter. It's there for you. So, Kyle, thank you very, very much. And I really appreciate your transparency. I want to dig a little bit more. Maybe next time we'll show some videos and things like that into it. I think that that's really key, but we'll definitely be hooking up here in the next 3 weeks and maybe doing another educational video for our parents.
Absolutely. Pleasure having me. Always love talking about it. And I just want to give a shout out to our team. Thank you for the accolades on our side. A lot of our field ops team are former players in baseball and softball that have gone through the recruiting process, have at least played in college, understand what it takes to get to the next level, have parents help through the process too. So that's what we tried, and we hire good people. They're familiar with the space. So it's nice to hear that. We're always great partners. We love working with great people. So thank you for having me on the show. Looking forward to our next time together.
Absolutely. Take care, everybody. We'll be back in touch.